and I called my manager and agent, but they called and they said, oh, too late. We've already had everybody cast, and if anything happens in the future, we'll let you know. And to me, that's a big brush off. So you kind of go, okay, thanks, goodbye, later. And then 2 weeks later, I get a call. And my manager says, hey, Michael, they want to see you for the role of a Klingon. And I knew, I was a fan of the original, so I knew what they wanted. So that's how that happened. And I walked into the, I was in an acting class at the time, and this wonderful teacher taught me how to, you walk in the building, you walk in the set, you walk wherever you're going to go to audition as the character. And so I walked in and very stern and not very talking to people, and people like, hey Michael, how you doing? And I went up to the secretary and I said, excuse me, is there a place I can be by myself? And she goes, yeah, right over there, thank you. And I walked in there and I sat by myself, and then I went into the audition, and I knew, I've seen Gene Roddenberry and Bob Justman and all these people, and they're sitting there, and I want to go, hey Gene, hi, but I was very stern. I didn't crack a smile and just did it and left. I said, thank you very much, and left. And that's how it happened. And it was, and I guess they probably just went, he's nuts, we like him. Yeah, if we just keep him off the street, away from our children, But interestingly enough, I had 2 auditions. The first one was with about 20 or 30 guys. The second one was with there was only 3 of us. So they narrowed it down the next day. And that day, before I left, they said, Michael, could you wait? We want to talk to you. And they had the other guys leave, and the director came out and said, okay, you're hired. And that day I went to makeup, did all of my makeup tests, and within about 2 days after that, I was on the set. So nobody knew who I was. I mean, I walked on the set, and all the other actors had been working together for a couple of weeks, and I was just, like standing there. People were going, excuse me, who are you, sir? I'm just standing here. And that's how it happened. But I think the best part about doing the show was that we laughed so much. I mean, it was, it's hard to believe that we actually got any work done, because we were just out of control most of the time. Patrick too. Don't listen to Patrick saying, "Oh no, I was the serious one." No, he was out of control too, and that was the best part. And then when I went to Deep Space, the best part was kissing Terry Farrell and Nicole DeBoer. That was fun.
Did you do a lot of retakes on it?
A lot of retakes? Well, the kissing part? Yes. Yes. I don't know why, but I just kept saying, I need another one. I think I wasn't looking right. And finally I said, Michael, just shut up. Just get out of it. But no, it was a blast. Terry was great, and I think that the Worf and Dax thing was a great storyline, and even when Nicole came on, she was wonderful too. Although I still think that she should have ended up with Worf. I still, at the very end, when he's leaving, she looks at Julian and says, "I'm sorry, Julian, I can't do this. I belong with Worf," and goes off with him. But that didn't happen. But otherwise, that was about the best part.
She has a question.
Hi.
Hi. I was just wondering if you found yourself having any similarities with the character, Worf?
Have I had similarities with my character? At first, when I got the job and I started working, I didn't think so. But then all of a sudden, I realized that I'm kind of the same. I'm a little gruff and surly at times. I didn't think I was, but I am. The other thing too is that I actually learned a lot, or admired a lot, about Worf, because he was really a strong character and all that, but he was also learning and trying to understand, Klingons and aliens and things like that, and he was struggling with it, but he was learning. And also, Worf wasn't exactly the brightest bulb in the world. I mean, it wasn't he was stupid, but he was just sort of like, he didn't understand people in general. You want me to do that, really? And I'm kind of like that too. People, one of my dear friends in Los Angeles calls me Captain Naive, because she goes, "Oh, Michael, that guy, he was just, he was talking about you." I went, "Really?" And she goes, "You are so naive," So it's kind of the same. So I think there's a lot of Worf in me. So.
Do you go swimming, or is it too much like bathing?
I'm sorry?
Do you go swimming as yourself, or is it too much like
Too
bathing?
much like bathing. No, actually, I like to bathe. That's what. No, he was a great character. I really enjoyed him. I mean, somebody asked me if I had to choose a character that I wanted. That's the one I want. I mean, it was a dream character. Yes. That's it.
Anybody else?
Oh, sorry.
How did you end up doing the voice on Gargoyles?
The voice on Gargoyles. That was the producers of that show were big fans of the show. Big fans of Star Trek, and so they just started hiring all of us, and we needed the work at the time, so we said yes. Anybody else? Ooh. Yes.
You've done a lot of voice acting, and I love it. It's just, do you prefer the voice acting to the actual acting?
I got that question today, and voice acting and regular acting is apples and oranges. You really cannot compare them, because it's just two different things, two different animals. So
You have to do the makeup.
well, the thing is that I don't. When you're doing Worf, there's a lot of makeup, but when you're just doing regular acting, or regular sort of like shows, there's not a lot of makeup. So it's sort of like one of those things where you just can't compare them. The voice acting is quick and fast and boom, and you're kind of out of there after a short time. You don't have to get dressed up. You come in your jeans and t-shirts, and that's it. So it's really different. I couldn't choose one or the other, or I couldn't compare them.
That's
Okay, good.
You're good at everything.
Okay, good. Thank you. It's very sweet. Yes. Who? Where? Oh.
Over there. Sorry.
Yes.
Mr. Dorn, if you had one piece of technology from the show now, what would it be? Here's the ultimate geek question for you.
Now, my favorite piece of technology was on Deep Space Nine, which was the Defiant.
Tough little ship.
Yeah, that's a very cool ride. I mean, can you imagine say, okay, I'm going to take off and do a little cruising. I always thought that was a cool ship.
Nice little ship.
Nice little ship. Little.